Okay, so we got a cigar here that, everyone's kind of forgot about, and maybe I never knew about it. It doesn't matter, right? It is what it is. This is the La Gloria Cubana Criollo de Oro. Now, something, I don't know, along the way has changed La Gloria, and I'm not, and I have a lot of cigars and brands that I enjoy under General, and back in the day, like, I'm gonna say this wholeheartedly. La Gloria was the shit, man. For really reasonably priced, we're talking about $6, $7 large Toro and Gordos. I'm going back in the day. How long ago? 2011, 12, 13, even 14, 15. Back then, over 10 years ago, a lot of guys in my shops, man, would love the Series R, Series N. Those things would sell. Yeah. Yeah, back then I guess there was less availability. There's so much more brands and selection. Back then there wasn't 100 different varieties of AJs. 12, 13 years ago at a lounge. So the point is, though, the Series R back in the day, in the end, those were some solid sticks. Something changed along the way, and La Gloria, some of their lower end ones, I'm not a huge fan of. Look, at the end of the day, they're very I would say, if anything, they made a lot of newer stuff on the cheaper side, and you could say, oh, that's a good thing for the consumer, but I'm not sure if the quality level is the same as it wasn't. Like on the newer ones, like the Esteli and everything. It's a operable, cheap, long filler cigar, but that's a real dirty cigar, and that is what it is. The point is, though, what the hell is the brand doing now? Well, this has been out for a little while, and I don't recall smoking this one. I don't. I don't. And if I did, I don't remember at all. So it's like total Men in Black. This is a Churchill. This was $10 and change. So not cheap, but not super expensive. That's Florida pricing. That'd be a higher end mid-tier cigar in Florida. So what has this got? It's got some type of quasi-hybrid using two different seeds, varietal seeds. They're spliced in the matrix, I guess. Secret of the use for it to use Pelo de Oro tobacco, and then we have Connecticut broadleaf binder, and then Nicaraguan and something else in the filler. Was it Honduran or Dominican? I don't remember. Doesn't matter. We'll look that up later. It's got a full pack for its size, although it doesn't feel super heavy for its size, but it's got a very dense, full, hard, if not almost hard pack. This is in Churchill. Just looking up reviews from like 3 years ago when this came out, two different places of major places gave it, absolute shit reviews. So the good thing is, maybe years later, maybe they made some corrections, because a lot of people said they had issues with the construction. So who knows? Obviously, back in the day, EP Criollo, if I recall correctly, used to run La Gloria Cubana. That's no longer the case. So maybe that's when things went downhill. I don't know. Construction seems fine. The color of it is like it looks like a cardboard bag. That kind of color, that lightish to medium brown. Yeah, the texture does not feel very oily. Has a dry texture to the wrapper. I have no idea what to expect on this, and so we'll see what happens, and hopefully it's enjoyable. And that's that. Well, what do we got going on here? Well, terrible draw. Extremely tight draw. And I don't just, shit on a cigar, no, really, this has got a really way too tight a draw. And the cigar is not like super moist or anything. I had it just in the cellophane for, I don't know, a couple of days now. Nothing, just letting it just kind of slowly just dry out a little bit. Yeah, the burn's going pretty bad too. Now I am outside and it's a little windy, so I can give that a pass. But the draw is terrible. It is pulling, but for lack of better words, gotta suck on it too hard. No other way to say that. You shouldn't have to. You shouldn't have. Listen, hey, you shouldn't have to do that. You should just have to kiss it, right? Is this a Diddy party? Make sure you stay hydrated. The point is this. Terrible draw. Okay, right there's picking up though. Right in medium plus. Terrible burn. I might have to go in the car so I don't have any wind, but I mean I've smoked cigars and more wind than this. Okay, my best is to burn a little bit, but I mean who gives a shit, right? I'm just sitting here like an old man complaining about a cigar on the sidewalk, like wah, 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 wah. You can listen to the crows. Gives a shit. Not impressed with this so far. I'm almost at the point of regret, but not yet. But not far. Like, is it better to realize you made a mistake, like 4 days into the honeymoon, or like 4 years after the honeymoon? What's worse? Like, you want to have a heads up, or I don't know. It's got a slightly nutty vibe to it. Slightly spicy. I was expecting it to be a lot stronger. Okay, right there, spice they picked up. I'm gonna come back. I got good news and bad news. Bad news is that thing's been cracking up by itself. That's not the wind. That's just some tight construction and it's not transferring the heat that well. Maybe it's because it's Churchill, but that's fucking bullshit. I've smoked tons of Churchills before. They rolled this thing too tight. The good thing though, it did start operating better as far as the draw, and I'm getting a lot more flavor. When the draw's too tight, a lot of that smoke's just getting stuck. Alright, it's on fire, and it's gonna lead to swelling. Kind of like if you have an erection longer than 4 hours. I don't know who's sitting there with a sand clock watching for it. If you got an erection more than an hour, I mean, you got a problem. I mean, nobody needs a 4-hour penis. The point is this. The flavor's not bad. The other point is this, though. I really can't recommend this cigar just based on the issues I've had with the draw and construction. That's two major issues, and this is not a cheap cigar. So even though we'll talk about the flavor, and I'm enjoying the flavor, and we'll get to that, but now you can say, well, maybe I got a bad one. I didn't drop the cigar at all. So I'm always honest if I drop a cigar, but this cracking, you didn't start from the bottom. You know, generally you drop a cigar, you're going to damage the foot first. The point is, yeah, it's got that going for it. It's Honduran Nicaraguan filler, and it is a Dominican wrapper, and it's always rare to have a Dominican type wrapper. So, right, but so I do like the flavor on this. It's a unique profile, and I think the blend has potential. You got Dominican wrapper, you got a Connecticut broadleaf binder, and then Honduran and Nicaraguan fillers. It's kind of like a really wide mix, and I like that. But let me give it one more second. So it got a nice sweet tone to it. It's quite earthy without being super dark. About 65% darkness though. So somewhere between the darkness you normally get off maybe a Habano or some type of not very dark sun-grown. So if you're not in a Maduro type of mood, okay, it's got that going for it. I don't mind the copper on the band. What else has it got going for it? Finish is quite long, quite strong. We're at a medium full really right now, but it's a light medium full. So you might describe it as a very heavy medium plus or a light medium full. At the core of it, it's quite sweet, quite nutty. It has a good amount of spice to it as well. It's a nice profile, but issues with the draw and that type of expansion in the tobacco cracking like that, and I'm not the only one. So in the 2 other reviews I saw, they had all the same issues. So that could be an issue of just construction, or maybe perhaps the blend. Some blends, blends is obviously blended together for the flavor, but when you put all different kinds of tobacco from all over the world together and different primings and all these different things, a lot can happen. With all different combustion rates, especially if you roll it rather tight. I'm telling you, this thing is it's a very hard pack. There's factors to it. So maybe this could have been the same amount of tobacco, but they went 2 gauges bigger. I don't know if this is a 50. Maybe they should have made it 52 with the same amount of tobacco. Maybe you would have had a little more breathing room. You know what I'm saying? No. It's like a good worker, but he's under too much pressure. He can't fucking, breathe.
The beats, I don't know. And I think that was like his most.
It's got some bready notes to it. It's nutty. These things are nice. It's got like a bright sugary sweetness to it. Somewhere between like a raw sugar or like a rock candy, somewhere between that. So I kind of like that, It's got some nice black pepper spice to it, and a slight bit of jalapeno. So it's kind of got like a semi-complex, although it's not like it's like kick-ass spiciness, and it's not like, so much fucking sugary sweetness. But it's a nice kind of lively blend. The breadiness and the nuttiness to it, it would have been a kind of a good blend with just issues that I think are preventing complete enjoyment. I shouldn't have to worry about such a tight fucking draw on a $10, $11 Florida pricing lounge cigar. You know what I'm saying, though? You know what I'm saying, though? But I like the blend. I don't know. If anything, try this at a fatter gauge. I don't know. Maybe give a little more room. I don't know if this is all the same problem, though. So I'll come back. I think the blend is unique. I think the blend can be enjoyable. But the tight draw, and I'm going to wait to take the band off. Normally I take it off already. But I'm worried about taking that band off and this thing just keep on popping. So it is what it is. The finish is quite long and heavy, and I like it. But the 65% darkness to it, this is a nice profile. If you're looking for like a semi-strong cigar in the middle of the day, it's quite nice. You know what I'm saying? No, or if you're not in the mood for some type of dark broadleaf wrapper or dark San Andreas, Oscuro, etc., or some type of super dark Habano or whatever the fuck. It's nice. I'm literally crushing this with my teeth to try to hopefully open it up a little bit. That's a problem. Well, at this point, we're about past the midway point. The cigar has gotten a little stronger. At this point, it's a very solid medium full. The strength is nice. The flavor is nice. However, this cigar, I feel like it's a cigar that had a lot of potential. I liked the profile, I really did. But I forgot about some of the basics. The draw is a little better than the beginning. At least I took the band off, no more damage, but we'll see as we smoke this. So, I mean, if this thing could have had just a better draw and not so much damage, well, just normal operation, and I didn't drop it, it would have got a higher rating. But the profile, look, I mean, I think this is not a bad profile, especially considering some of the newer Glorias I wasn't really a fan of. Holding that smoke, it's really a solid medium full, very long, heavy finish, 65% darkness. There's a good amount of bright cedar to it. It's quite nutty, quite bready, has a toasty feel to it. The black pepper spice is there. There's some slight jalapeno spice into it, and it's got some somewhere between a raw sugar. Yeah, somewhere between like a raw sugar and a rock candy. Rock candy is more crystallized. rock candy has more of a solid feel, whereas sugar in the raw is more granulated with small little pieces of sugar. But the sweetness mixes in well with the breadiness, the toastiness, and especially the black pepper and the jalapeno pepper. So it's not to really be afraid of the cigar. It's not a scary cigar, but it's a nice stout, medium full. I got nothing bad to say about it as far as the profile. Just wish the basics would have been a little better covered. Is what it is. Well, we're down to the last third, almost the nub. Cigar is a solid, heavy, medium full. Very long finish, very strong notes of coffee, very nutty, a lot of cedar. The black pepper has been pronounced. The jalapeno is there, but it's not a major part of it, but it's there, adding nice complexity to it. The sugar note's still there. I like the cigar as far as the profile. But I can't lie to you guys and say that there wasn't issues with that draw, really. Although after the initial cracking parts, the draw was still slightly a little too snug to my liking. It's going to be a 4.2. I can't highly recommend this. If I tried this against a different size or the same size, and maybe I had better operation, but unique, desirable profile, yes, with some kind of bad construction. That's a major hit, especially at Florida pricing, $10 to $11. That's unacceptable. So it's going to be a 4.2. This thing could have really been a 4.6. This thing had good construction and operated smoothly with the easier draw that just flowed a lot easier. The profile was nice, but so that is what it is. A nice profile. A semi-powerful cigar that's not super dark, that had some complexities and some balance, and nice heaviness to it, but it only being 65% darkness. But I think Gloria has some issues with their construction. It's not the first one I've had issues, and other people have seen it too. So it is what it is. 4.2. That's going to be the end of that. Stay fresh, or better yet, stay fresh and stay strapped. Is what it is.